What's up everybody, it's time for me to do my first ever naked GoPro teardown. We're going to be using this GoPro Hero 10 Black that I recently got. It's a used, damaged, but working GoPro for 200 bucks off of eBay. If you want to see that video, I'll put the link up around here somewhere or definitely down in the description. And we're going to be using the GEPRC case right here. This thing is super nice. So my inspiration here, once again, is going to be Troncat FPV. I follow his stuff. I love the videos and tutorials that he came out. I recently did his 6S Pavo 25 build right here. And right after the new year, I bought myself the Runcam Thumb Pro 4K, the new one, but the quality out of this is just not good enough for what I want and what I'm gonna be using this for, which is hopefully real estate and other like travel gigs and things of that nature. So that's how we got here. But I don't have enough money to buy a brand new 11 or anything like that, or a new 10. So that's why we're on the budget. So this thing does work. You should check the other video. Case is real nice. We're gonna go outside and tear this down. So this will be my second GoPro that I've taken the screen off of the back. Okay, so I recently replaced the screen on my Hero 9 when I smashed it when I first started flying FPV last year. So I'm hoping that if I just make a small cut around the corner here with the Dremel, that the whole screen will lift off and I don't even need to go all the way around. So we're gonna see if lightning can strike twice. Let's get out there and do it. All right, so I'm all done with the build, so we're gonna do the summary first and we'll transition right into the build log so you know exactly what to look out for as you go through this. So this thing looks super clean, and actually this Hero 10 compared to the 9 flies so much smoother. I don't know what it is about the algorithm. And also this natural color profile that they have, I love a lot more than the GoPro color. Way less saturated, looks a lot more natural. Now with that, the only thing that I don't like, that I did wrong, you should keep an eye out for is, I don't know if you can see this, I marked it in the video, but the screen on the left and the right side, you might see some little black bars. Okay, that's because I put the adhesive behind the screen when I stuck it in. Now in Troncat's video, he says to save the little plastic, I guess he'd call it a bezel, that comes in the original GoPro, and I just forgot when I made the install. So the screen would have sat in the plastic bezel, and then he would have stuck the tape behind that and then stuck it to the inside. I think that's the reason why I have these black bars, because it looks exactly like the same width of the included adhesive. So don't make that same mistake. Aside from that, everything else is working great, aside from the normal GoPro woes. Yes, I sync this camera up to 3 of my cell phones here, right? My newest one. I have a couple backups just to make sure I can still connect with the GoPro app, and the stupid crappy GoPro app can't connect to the camera anymore, which is a real pain in the ass. Now I can still do the QR code, which is helpful, but every time I unplug this and I don't use it for a while, this screen up here in the front isn't 100% bright, so it dims 50%, and when I can connect via the app, I can turn it up to 100% brightness so I can see better during the day. You see the problem that I'm having here. So just, you know, there is that GoPro crap that's happening there. Aside from that, everything else went really well. I did print a little lens cover here, so if you want the STL file for that and you do 3D printing, yeah, I'll put that below so you have that as an easy little cover there just to protect the lens and make sure nothing bad happens, right? So all in all, that was it. There were no major complications. I did miss one little screw here in the upper left-hand corner, or yeah, upper left-hand when you're looking from the back. Yeah, that when I pushed the lens out, it snapped. I marked that in the video as well, so just make sure you get all the screws out. I was like, why won't this lens come out? And it was because there was one screw that I couldn't see that was still attached. The lens still fits in there perfectly and it's not wiggling around, so we got lucky there. So all right, on to the rest of the video. All right, a little outdoor action here since it's almost spring. So I don't know if you can see this right here. Yes, but you can see this is where I cut in on my Hero 9, and all I had to do is go around the corner here. In retrospect, I probably should have turned this one into a naked GoPro, but too late. So that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and go around the corner here and just cut into it, and then maybe the screen will pop right off. Let's see if that's enough or if I need to do a little bit more. Kind of under it, but I think I could get under a teeny bit more. I don't want to damage the screen, obviously. I want to still be able to reuse this, so let me go just a little lower. So now I can kind of see inside just a little bit more. I see something shining through, so that might be like the metal cage right there. I can see it prying. Nope. Well, I'll continue down just a little bit further. Yeah. There we go. It's like popping open an oyster. It's got to get us started. There we go. See that? It's starting to come around real nice. Over here it's starting to lift. I wonder if I can do this by hand. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to crack the screen, but this is super. There it is. Yeah, just slowly pry my way around. Just going to get the top part. There we go. Pop! This is amazing. This is fun. There. And voila! Easy does it. Don't want to pull, don't want to break any cables. Yeah. Definitely don't want to peel back too hard, right? Because you don't want to pull these cables out underneath here. Okay, so maybe I'm just going to come back over here and kind of use my fingers as some leverage. Yeah. Look, real nice. Yeah? Cool. Less than 10 minutes, though, right? That was real quick and easy. I just got the corner right here. I went down just a little bit down here and was able to pry and pop everything up. So Dremel for the win, 100%. Hacksaw, stupid. So that was quick and easy. As I mentioned with my Hero 9, all I had to do was just come around the corner. Yeah, but right, we just went just a little bit further and then this thing really started to pry and pop open. So if you're gonna do maybe like a screen replacement with like this, I'd probably just say cut just a little bit higher, right? So you can reuse the channel and then try to pry it open. But overall, if you're just gonna be stripping this down for a naked, right, that was quick, it was easy, it was hassle-free. Highly recommend using the Dremel tool or whatever rotary tool you have to pop this thing open. So we're going to be using the GEPRC case here. When I watched Troncat's video, right, this one looks super slick. Everybody likes this thing right here. And compared to the Flywoo, I think, is what the other one was, right? This one was quieter with the fan as well. So I sprung for this one. It was 80 bucks. I have it at Get FPV right now as well, so I'll put a link up there if you want to get it. Ironically, I ordered this like 5 days ago and nobody had it, and so I ordered it from GEPRC directly, so it's still coming from China. And then I got the email from Get FPV that these were in stock, and I need this now for an upcoming gig for real estate that my buddy's throwing towards me so I can kind of get some footage and build a portfolio. Anyways, let's see what's inside the box. So we got a bag and some cards, and I don't even know what all of this stuff is 100% as I take it out. I mean, obviously I watched his video, so we got our power supply connector stuff up here. Little cleaning cloth. Looks like a mount for the drone. Little handy dandy tool. So we've got the front part of the case right here. It's got that nice finish, that anodized aluminum, and then we got a cover over the lens here, which is nice. We've got the back part of the case right here. A little window that's going to go over the front here, so if you want to keep the front screen, that'll help hold it in there. This looks like the main back board right here. I think this is either adhesive or heat sink right here from what I remember. We got a little fan, a little bag of screws right there. A couple other things right here. I think this is more of the adhesive that holds things in. We've got a ribbon cable, and then they also include I think this is a 16 ND filter. Yeah, that's right. That's going to go right over. So it's always a nice touch there. All right, so it's time to start breaking this thing down. Let's get rid of some of the basics first. And we'll take the battery door off. This pops off nice and easy. And then we'll take off the bottom here. And I believe we can use the GEPRC little screwdriver that they provided us. That's off. And now we can remove the screen carefully, right? And undo these two little ribbon cables right here. Just like so. And we'll save the screen for later because I think we actually get to use this again, and it's a good working screen. So now we got screws to take out. I can see a couple Phillips screw heads in these two holes right here, kind of in the battery cage. There's one down here. There's one right here on the bottom, over here, two, and up there I can see as well. So easy access 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And according to my little bit holder, this is a PH00. And this bit is not long enough to reach in here, so I'm gonna have to go find a smaller screwdriver in a bit. Let's keep going with these ones. And let me see what other kind of tool I have for these two up here. So luckily I have an old ass repair kit from when we used to take apart our MacBook Pros back in 2008. So if you don't have a long screw like this to get into the battery cage, you might be screwed. Yeah, so highly recommend that if you're gonna do this piece right here, I'm just lucky, very fortunate, yeah, that I can get into the cage here and I have these two screwdrivers. All right, so the battery cage is just starting to pop up like so. I'm gonna work it out slowly. I heard there was like a ribbon cable that was underneath it too that might unplug by itself. We will see. I see some cables coming under here that look slightly different than the one he just did. So inside here I see some red, blue, and green wires that are connect to the actual battery connector to the board. I don't want to damage anything. Okay, so you can see right here maybe, yeah, these wires come down. And it looks like they're attached to the board. I don't know. All right, so now that I got the board way closer and I can look at it up close to my eyeball here, so this connector right here from the battery to the board right here actually does pull up and lifts right away nice and easy, so very much just like the speaker cable that we just looked at, so don't be. But now we're in the inside here, so now I'm just going to start knocking out anything else that looks like it has a screw or anything that can come loose, and we'll see what happens. So I see a screw right down here. I see one here on the very top. Couple more here on the top, one on the back, one on the front, and these all go around the power button on the top here. So there was one over here in the very center of the top plate. This one is closest to the screen on the right side of the power button. There's one back here. I don't know, we have to try a slightly different approach. I don't know, I'm just going for anything I can reach right now with a screwdriver. We'll come back to that one. What else? This little plastic piece, I don't know what this is. A little plastic piece that was right over here, probably by the other speaker. Okay, so this little piece right here is supposedly just taped on, and we can peel it off, like so. And then you can also cut the extra flap off, we'll get there. And then this part right here, which is connected to the USB port, he was saying that you don't even need to take out these two screws, that they're actually going to pop out. So I'm going to try, yeah, let's see, up here, boom, it said just to pluck this little ribbon cable off and then use a pair of tweezers to push this back and it should pop out. So we're going to see if that holds true. See if I can't get up under here with my finger. There we go. Got that little cable to pop free. Yeah. And I don't have tweezers, but I do have some needle nose pliers, which I'll try and be very careful to push the board back. See if that still works. Yep, look at that. You hear that little pop? And look at that. Okay, so don't even really need tweezers, right? I just use these needle nose pliers and the blunt head, put it right on the USB-C port right here, popped it back. So food for thought, I might save this for later because I definitely know that this GoPro runs on USB power, and hopefully whatever it is I solder at a later point with these is gonna work with that. So we will see what happens there. I don't really see any other screws in here, so aside from this one up here at the very top, but he did remove the lens here and then take out these screws, so that's what we're going to do next. And these screws are super small, so this is a T4 bit. It's the smallest one in my little kit, so thank God for that. Okay, so back to the inside, we've got one little itty bitty teeny weeny torque bit underneath this green piece here within the top piece. And then there's another hex piece over here. So I'm going to try and get at this one way down here, coming at it from an angle. Hopefully I can. It feels like the bit is in there. Well, it looks like it's out, but it hasn't come out yet. And then I'm going to get this right up in here. Is going to be a regular hex head bit. I don't know what size yet, so we'll find out. Okay, so this is an H1.3 for this one that's right here. He says that he's going to pull the ribbon cable up here. I'm going to use the spudger, and then there's supposed to be one more screw underneath. Let's see if we can't pop the ribbon cable up. Yep, just like so. It says try to fish it out and pull it back forward. Sorry, you can't see that, but it just popped up. I fished it out. And here we go. Good. Yep. And underneath, yes, there is one more little hex bolt under there that I can see. It's right under here. I can feel the lens getting loose now in my hands. So it's loose. I think it's actually in there kind of snug. I feel like there's one thing holding it back. What am I missing? But this was wiggling around real nice, and I was like, God, it's got to pop out. So once again, I came back to the needle nose pliers, and it was just a little bit sticky up here in the right-hand corner. I gave it a little push, and it actually popped through. So it just needed a little nudge, and now we've got the camera out. So didn't go as easy as the video I'm watching, but not terrible. Okay, looks like a little something is broken off here on this mount. Yeah, it looks like, okay, so there was still one screw. See, this is where I fucked up. That's okay. So if you can see this under here, right under here, let me see if I can zoom in there with the light. Yeah, can you see that little bolt head right there? Okay, so that's the one that I was missing. So I was able to push the lens out with it still attached and kind of wore that down. So hopefully that doesn't come to bite me in the ass at the end. But now this piece just fell out nice and easy, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if we need this for later or not, but we will see. So we still need to get this top piece out here where the shutter button is. So we still got that one problem child in the back corner here, and then we've got one on the other side here that we haven't gotten to yet. So this one might not be that hard. Okay, so this one, not too bad because it's in the middle. Yes, and then we still have this one to get into. Maybe I can do it with an extension. Maybe, who knows? Go gadget arm. Well, we got lucky. All right, so it just popped free like so. And it is still connected by a cable down here somewhere. I probably won't disconnect it yet. We'll see what happens. So they were talking about unplugging the speaker from this board here. His looked like a little 2-pin small JST. I'm not seeing that happen in there. I just feel like the wires are connected. I mean, obviously they must have been plugged in some way, shape, or form. I'm trying to see if there's maybe like a little edge right here which is holding the connector, but I already pulled one of the wires out. But it doesn't really matter because the speaker didn't even work on this anyways, and I don't think we get to take it with us either. So I don't know, maybe we can just wait a little bit longer and see what's next. And now I have access to the one screw that was a problem child. Probably not the one that was holding in the lens, but I'm gonna pull it out just because it was pissing me off. So I can just mark this one as done and done. So one step closer, we got the GPS board. The ribbon cable comes out real nice and easy, so we'll put that one off to the side as well. So I just got the speaker out from right here. I started lifting, it was kind of like this. Yes, and it was black. And so there is a little prong connector, and I guess if you just start to lift and pull, it'll pop right out. So it's kind of like how the ribbon cables attach pressed down right here. So I gave it a good and solid pull and it eventually popped right up. So it's not like a standard plug JST. It's hard to see. I don't know if you can see this little teeny piece of crap. Yeah, but I mean, no harm, no foul. I wasn't gonna use a speaker anyway, so I gave it a pull, but so you don't have to be as scared. So it looks like we're in pretty good shape now. We've got almost everything out, and I think all we have to do is kind of like start prying some of the stuff out. Yeah, you can see that the board is, even I just reached in from the inside of the lens, right? The board is already starting to lift. I feel like this black piece of tape is going to be holding it back a little bit. it. And there might be some additional ribbon cables. I can see something down here and over here on the side, and then we should be able to pop this out. So I'm going to peel up this black tape because I feel like that is just something that's going to be holding it back, and it is. Yes. I feel like there's a ribbon cable coming over here on this side. Yep. And this is actually where the mode button attaches and the on-off. And it looks like there's probably another one over here somewhere on this side of the cable. I feel like there's a couple cables down here as well on the side. Okay, so we've got a little bit of the black tape right up here, which I just peeled back. We've got a ribbon cable, 2 on the left side here. One is for the power button. Probably another one goes down here. And this one, once you pop it up, it's got a little bit of silver on top of it. Once you pull this up, we've got another Phillips head underneath here. So let me see, where's my screwdriver? And maybe this is the last screw because I don't see any more screws in here. Oh yeah, there's a lot of freedom. Here we go. Nice and careful, slow and steady. Okay. Great success! All right, so now that I got the board way closer and I can look at it up close to my eyeball here, so this connector right here from the battery to the board right here actually does pull up and lifts right away, nice and easy. So very much just like the speaker cable that we just looked at. So don't be afraid to lift that, it'll pull and pull right off. So a lot like the ribbon cables, these just have a lot better attachment to the board itself. Okay, so I'm going to clean off some of this heat sink right here, and then we're going to work on this piece next here. So we want to try and get the whole metal cage out so we can get this screen right here. So there's supposed to be, so this one thing I got in the corner here is part of that. So we got that earlier, and then there's these plastic rivets that he said that are right here. So you want to cut off the edges so we can pull this back through. And then he also grabbed some like little some nips, right, and pulled this piece out too, so it'd be a little bit easier. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my 3D printer little nips that I have, and we'll cut away and try to get this bad boy pried out. All right, so we're just going to pry this little metal piece here in the corner where the power mode button is. Right, and that just pops off nice and easy. Trash. And that'll give you some more access to some other pieces. So there are these little plastic rivets that are here that are kind of like over. You can kind of cut at them, get in there. Oh yeah, that just landed on the other side of the room. Right, so that's 1, that's 2. How many more do I need? Is there a 3rd or a 4th one somewhere? Popping out, protruding. Is there anything down here in the corner that I can't see? Here's the flashlight. What do we got down there? Yeah, there's a rivet down here in the bottom left corner. Can't see it without the flashlight. It's a little more rubbery. Okay. And is there one here in the bottom right? I don't know. Let's just pry and see, and if I need to cut some more stuff, I will. Oh yeah, here it comes. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Something's still holding on real tight up here. Is there another one I'm missing? I don't think so. Is that a rivet? What is that? I don't think that has anything to do with the metal. Maybe I just need a little more coercion. Try my needle nose pliers. They're a little stronger. Oh yeah, just needed a little extra love and a little pop. Booyah God. Okay, so all we're gonna do now is try to pull out the front screen and maybe the bracket around the side, which he recommends, which helps it sit better in the GEPRC case. So if you remember that black piece of tape that came over and was holding the board in that I peeled up, you can just see that this kind of comes up and over, and all stuff is still falling off, right? So we don't need that. It's not attached to anything. Yay, that's great. And all we're gonna do now is try to peel this up slowly. He says slowly and carefully. So you could use a heat gun. So hopefully I don't mess this up, because I would really love the front screen to work, but that's all he was doing, was just lifting. Yeah, super slow, super easy, just like that. Nice, cool. That's super thin too. Yeah, so that's cool. And then this piece right here, this little mirror thing, hi camera. Yeah, he just said to use a super small piece of one of your Phillips screwdrivers, and there's little corners right here on each side, on 2 sides at least. So you'd be able to get under, try to pry it up carefully. Let's see what we got here. Woo! Don't scratch it. Or can I? Oh yeah. Okay. Well, a piece of film came out. Is that what I wanted? Or am I supposed to get the whole bracket? Maybe I need to switch to something else. So this was a super teeny flathead piece, and it's just peeling up like a wafer. There we go. I don't know if I need all the adhesive, but I don't think so. So we'll pull off. I don't know if I need to clean this up. I'll let you know later, but it feels pretty smooth anyways. So we've got that, and this was just a super small Phillips. This is a V1. All right, so soldering time. We got a little back board here, and we've got our fan. Yes, you got a 3.3 and the ground. So right, red to red, black to black. I'm not gonna show you my soldering skills because they suck, but it's just enough to get to the job, and then I'll see you at the next step. All right, so we got that done. Don't judge me, we'll come back to that. And now we're gonna take the front screen right here. Yeah, put a couple strips of the adhesive here on the back of it, and then we're gonna be able to attach that to the main case here. So we might not actually need this piece. Maybe he just pulled this out for the Flywoo one, but in the video so far, he's just gonna take this and glue it right in. So I'm just gonna follow along right in suit. And then stick one side down like so. One onto the other side over here. So now we feed this through the front part of the case here, through the hole right down in there. Slow and steady, work it down, and then now we can just lay this piece right inside. Like that. Use a little provided cloth here to wipe the screen, give it one last wipe, make sure it's all nice and streak free. So then we have the glass face right here. It's going to go right on top of that and then seal everything in. So adhesive on the back side, peel it off, line it up, lay it in there. Now it looks good. I think it has a little piece of protective plastic on the outside too that we'll be able to peel off at the very end. All right, so now we get to mount the camera inside of this case right here. And if you recall, right, I screwed up, yeah, and I didn't get that one piece right. So this is super flimsy. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. But on the inside, right, there's 2 screw holes right here, and then there's gonna be 1 peg down here. So yeah, I don't know. There's going to be some screws that are provided with it. Hopefully that's going to be enough, these 2, and then 1 over the top here. I might just have to put like a little dab of like, I don't know, super glue or something just to make sure it stays held in and there's no issues in case I ever need to come back and rebuild this here. So I'm going to be real ginger with this, what will be the left corner. And yeah, we'll do that. So we should just be able to set this in here like so. Bottom peg is there, second peg is there, and you know, hopefully when I go to put this 3rd piece in, it'll go into the lens just right. So I'm going to carefully get this one. This will be the upper right hand corner. It's a nice short screw. All right, second one going in, and hopefully there is enough plastic left that the pressure doesn't rip it, but will hold the camera or the lens in place. So that feels secure. I mean, it's not going to be impossible to take this thing apart if I need to come back and glue it and fix it. But okay, good. So far so good. Next step is the heat sink. So I scraped off some of the thermal paste when this came off. So they do provide you with some different squares. So I'm just going to put one right here, and then we're going to insert this inside the case. So this just attaches right on top right there. And then there's one more piece of adhesive on the other side, double-sided. Good, so now we can take this, we're going to slide it in underneath, but in front of this other ribbon. Right, it's kind of like sets right in there, so that's kind of great. And then we've got 3 screws to do. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then this one in the upper left-hand corner. And that is going to be with the last 3 remaining shorter screws. So 2 went in to hold the lens. You should have 4 left here. Off to the side I do on my little magnetic rail. Oh, look at that, perfect. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next is going to be the ribbon cable, and it's going to go on just like this. So if you can see here, you're going to plug it onto this one, yeah, and then this is going to lift up. It'll connect over here. You have one that's going to connect over here on the far side, and then we'll come back, we'll do the camera, and we'll do this one, and you'll have one extra that's going to connect into the BEC board. Okay, so I'm going to take this one, I'm going to set it over here, get it laid on top, get it laid in front of all of its different places. There. Just heard it click, that one went on. So I'm going to come up here and do this one, and it should be perfectly laid out right there. You can see this one has just a little bit of slack in it right here, so there's a little micro bend, but that's okay. And we've got this one on the far side over here. This is kind of tight for my little fingers, but I definitely want to feel it. So that one snapped on real nice and easy. And then we can come back through. I'm going to do this one down here for the front screen. Okay, that one clicked on real nice and easy. And last but not least, is this one right here. So the cable has to kind of bend back and go under. Come on. There we go. It's on top, I think. And if you have fat fingers, I'm sorry for you. Find a friend like me. That took a little finagling to get it just right, but now it's on there. Everything's attached. We're in the home stretch, I believe, my friends. These are all on here nice and secure. I feel comfortable and confident. All right, so next is some little black foam pieces, gaskets, if you want to call them that. They're going to go over these 2 nubs here to kind of separate the BEC board from this piece. There are ones right here. They give you a pack of 4, probably, so you got 2 chances to get it right. So yeah, and so you can see it's got a little hole right here. It's going to go right over it. So I should be able to do this with my fingers. Yeah, I went on nice and easy. 1 and done. And number 2. Get it right over like that. All right, so now we've got our last piece of sticky tape here that I'm going to use. We're just going to put it right up the center here of the SD card cage. So that way when we take the BEC board here and we lay it over and we get it all connected like that, yeah, it doesn't bounce around, right? So you're going to have these 2 holes here that we put the gaskets. It's going to lay right over. It's going to be real nice. So we got that set up. I'm not going to peel it yet because now we need to get the BEC board connected to the ribbon cable right here. Okay, so if you come in, you can look real close here. Right, we got to slide this little black bracket back here. It's going to keep it locked in place. See how it just popped back right there? Yeah. Look, see, now it's in. Now it's out. Yeah. So we're going to slide the ribbon cable in. You can kind of see it. There's a little bit of a hole right there. And then this will slide in and pinch it down. Yeah. So let's try and have a little fun with that. Here we go. I think it's in. Close it, quick. Okay, it's clamped down. So we got that locked in, and now we can peel the adhesive back off of here, get everything lined up, and then screw it down. So I got this stuck down. I did the upper left, and then we're gonna wait for this one over here because the back case is gonna go through into this piece right here. Okay, so now we got the fan and the back case here, right? It's got a couple little nubs right here that it'll mount right onto, and you'll be able to press that straight through onto it. Like that. Good. And then we can start to close this up. Pushing this over here just a little bit, push the wires off to the side, and then set this on top like this. All right, so now we've got this closed up right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the longer one, because there's a bunch of screws over here you can't see, but one of the longer ones, this is going to be a longer one that's going to go through the part that we didn't do on the inside and then catch on the inside. All right, so we're done. We got it sealed up. Last but not least, we got your power cords here. So they give you one for 4S, one for 6S. So since I have a 6S build, actually, I'm gonna use this one. And then we're gonna have the moment of truth. See if I tore apart a $200 new used damaged but working GoPro for no good reason, or if we're gonna be on to bigger, badder, brighter things. Drum roll, please. Power button. We got flashes. Fan is working. We got a working front screen. So far, so good. All I gotta do is put an SD card in. I'll give it a good test and then let you know if I did good or if I'm sitting on a $200 break.